Okay, so let's go ahead and try creating a new project. I'm going to say Explore Assistant, less S's please, Assistant Demo BigQuery. So here we're going to be creating the project and doing it in a way that is going to be using BigQuery as the backend, aside, other than the cloud function. So it creates the project. I am now going to open my Cloud Shell and I'm going to create a new, I'm going to clone the repository. Already exists in this empty directory. Oh, interesting. I will do make directory in BigQuery. So the reason I'm doing this in a new repository is that the Terraform files, the state files are saved locally. And so when I was running this for the Cloud Function version, I'm using the same, essentially, Cloud Shell instance. So if you're running multiple projects, this is a good, if you're running multiple projects, remember the thing that I just discovered, which is you're sharing an instance. Cool. So I'm going to go into the Looker Explore Assistant, and I am going to the Explore Assistant backend. And from here, I will go into the Terraform. I'll do Terraform init. So this is going to go and just initialize the Terraform. I'm going to switch here to the editor so that I can look at the README instructions for getting this going. So if I go to this guy, backend, README, we can see what are the things that I need to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it to use this project, the one I'm currently on. Then I'm going to say, hey, actually I want to use the BigQuery backend. So I'm going to put a 1 on that. And I probably actually have to still create the token. So actually let's run this live. So if I do Terraform plan, it is going to ask for the token even though I'm not using it. So we'll improve this so that it doesn't do that in the future. But for now, I am going to go and create this token. So the token is to make sure that the cloud function, if you're using that, is going to be secure by a sort of shared secret. But to get the Terraform working, it barfs if it doesn't exist. So I went ahead and I created that. You'll notice that it's there. So now if I do Terraform plan, it should actually do it. I'm going to authorize my Cloud Shell to talk to the APIs to do the magic that it needs to do. You can see all the things that it's going to add. So let's go ahead and do Terraform apply. There is so I'm going to hit yes. Sometimes we have an order of operations bug. It may show up here, but if we don't turn on, so it did happen here. So if we don't turn on the APIs in the right order, really we should improve our Terraform to say, here are these first set of APIs, make sure to turn them on, then turn on the second set of APIs. So if I get lucky, I should be able to just hit apply again, and then these guys will go in a different order, and so then it'll actually work. But if it doesn't, I'll actually manually turn. No, it doesn't. So I'm going to manually turn this guy on. This is the services API. So let me turn that guy on first. Great. So now that this guy is turned on, I will go back here and run Terraform apply. Not ideal, but this is kind of what we're doing in terms of the state of the art. So here it'll actually go find that it's already on, and then that'll work. And so then it'll be able to turn on the rest of the APIs. So that's doing that. So I'm going to come back in a second here because this is going to take a minute or two to run. What you'll see is it will turn on the APIs, which takes like a minute to just like get the APIs going, and then we actually have a built-in pause for 2 minutes. Because you gotta ask Google to turn on the APIs. You kind of just gotta let it sit there because the APIs take some time internally to turn on as well. So let's see you back here in 2 minutes. And it finished. Magic. So everything was created, and let's review what was created in this next little section. Okay, so let's see what all this magic created for us. So if I go into BigQuery and I go to the project that we have in here, what you'll notice is, first of all, some example tables that were created for us. So this is the same whether you're using a Cloud Function or a BigQuery backend. We want to store examples for making the Explorer system smarter somewhere. And so in this case, we are storing it in BigQuery. But side note, you could store it, these examples like with the code, like in a file, like in a box with a fox, like whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. But the BigQuery implementation here, really what we created is you'll notice this extra little thing here under Explorer Assistant data set called Explorer Assistant LLM. And what this is, it's a special object in BigQuery that exposes a model. And it just so happens that this model is using the Google model Gemini Pro. So from here, you're able to run a command to prompt Gemini through BigQuery. And the way this will work in Looker is Looker already has a connection to BigQuery, and it can just run a SQL statement. So let's do a quick example of what that actual SQL statement looks like. So let's see this in action. I'm going to go to the editor, and this is our code base, and this is actually literally what the Explorer Assistant is running. And I will copy it from the code, and I will go put that into a new query in BigQuery for this project. And what I will show you is I am going to replace this model ID, the model ID that we know. So we know that this model ID is Explorer Assistant, is the name of the data set, and then the name of the model is Explorer Assistant LLM. This is this model that is connected to Gemini. And then I'm going to just provide it with some a prompt. So I'm going to say, hi, how are you doing? As prompt. And when I run this, you will see that the answer from Gemini is, hey, I'm doing well. How are you doing today? So what this did is it took the prompt that I gave it here. It ran a query against BigQuery. BigQuery ML knows how to talk to Gemini based on this model that we created, relayed that to Gemini. Gemini got us the response, and we got the response here. So everything is working. We're ready to go. The backend is set up.